unfortunately, in the position we're in, we're going to be thankful that it's a long season because we're banged up so bad right now. If it was a short season, we'd be taken out. But we have time to make up ground, and we're going to compete with who we have here, and we look forward to getting who we need back, at a later date. Don't give up on us. That's all I can tell you. Don't count us out. Don't give up on us. We got a good group of people, player-wise, staff-wise, support staff-wise. It's a championship caliber operation from that perspective, but we're not currently flying, at the level that we would have expected because we're missing some really important pieces, which I think anybody would acknowledge. But in the meantime, it's also part of it, and you got to withstand it. So we got to find a way to continue to tread some water at the very least, and not slide too far out of it while we're waiting on some important pieces to come back.
Ryan, you said there were deals you didn't do this offseason that would have been bad deals. Are there things you could have or should have done to put the team in a better position right now?
I don't think there's anything that was on the table that I could have pulled down that would make a difference. No. So, but in terms of comments that you're talking about with Hal on we're not done, I think we're certainly exploring a lot of efforts with our. If you look at our roster, we're deep on the infield side, and so we're obviously pursuing opportunities from trading from area of strength. But if we got the right value, and if we didn't get the right value, they would make sense. So no, I don't see any missed opportunities with obviously everything that was in play.
What needs to change, and what can you do to help foster those changes?
Well, so ultimately, myself and our staff are constantly looking to see what's available. Time of year is tough. April, May, June are not. If you ask me a question of in the winter time or even March, like, hey, what's your biggest fear coming out in the early portion of the season? On behalf of all general managers, I would say you don't want to get wrecked with injuries early, because trying to go outside the organization to deal with that is pretty difficult. In today's game, things, trying to get players or acquire players elsewhere to fill your needs. It's not like the NBA with the the G League, where you can just pick and choose whatever you want playing anywhere in the G League and pop them in if you have a rash of injuries. You just obviously have to have what you're dealing with internally here, and and it just has not been good enough, as we got navigating the first month of April. So, the silver lining is at some point we'll be getting each of these individuals mostly back. Obviously we already know about the ones that we're not getting back. We're not going to get back the reliever Trevino. We're not going to, obviously Montas won't be impacted until really late in the year. But in most cases we're going to get these guys back, but the difficulty is waiting for it at the same time. So
in the offseason, Hal said we're not done yet after Judge was re-signed and Rodon was signed. What went into another move not being made there? He's talked particularly about left field at the time. What happened there?
Again, it takes two to tango. You engage other clubs. You try to make deals. You're not going to make a bad deal, for instance. So I think it's comments more like, hey, we're not done. We know where areas we want to get better at, but that doesn't mean that we're going to just do something that's not going to make any sense. So we had a lot of conversations that there was some optimism that if things went out a certain way, but it didn't play out that way. And so, I can't speak specifically to his comment. I can speak from our area on the baseball ops side that, there's some players that other clubs coveted, but not enough from our perspective to actually make a move that we were willing to make. Because we felt like I know right now that we'd be in a worse position if we did make those moves because they weren't good deals. So I suspect probably those comments there's some optimism that at some point something else will transfer and we can, trade from an area surplus, which would be the infield, to take care of an area of need somewhere else. But it never materialized to a level that we felt that was a worthy move to make.
With reliance on guys who have an injury history and have big contracts, not just this year, but years moving forward, do you worry about the organizational depth as far as prospects go, particularly?
Always
some of the
worry.
trades
Yeah,
last
always worry about that. No doubt about it. So, listen, we've made a lot of moves that aren't. Every move we make is intended to help us. Every decision we make out of the draft, every decision we make on the international signings, every decision we make on the major and minor league free agent signings, and all the trade discussions. Every individual one is intended to try to help us and make us better in the short or long term, and that will never change. So, and some, windows of time, that body of work looks better than others. And for the successes, you don't focus on that. For the failures, certainly the ones that haven't worked out, it's my responsibility, and I take full accountability for those, and understand the slings and arrows that come with it.